Second thing, what you love. What you love. Some of you are married in here. And you love your spouse. And love is a great motivator for change. And I want to encourage you to be motivated by love. I've seen guys change their attitudes, their habits, all because they wanted to win a girl. Have you ever seen that? Man, these guys start brushing their teeth. They start using cologne. They start getting some decent clothes, all because they want to win a girl. Man, just the time they hook them, they go back to old school, man. Don't shave. Don't brush their teeth. No, I'm just messing. But check it out. Love is a great motivator. Because I grew up in a broken home, I wanted to have a home where love was spoken and lived out, where laughter happened around the table, where it was fun to come home to, where we celebrated as a family. And love was a great motivator. I'm going to forego the video, guys, in the interest of time and fast forward to the last point. Third motivator for change, what you have to lose. What you have to lose. How many of you know someone in ministry that lost their family or lost their ministry because their marriage failed? Anybody know anyone like that? Raise your hand. I'm not going to make you say their name. Some of you know some people, they lost their family, not because they're bad people, but the busyness of ministry boiled dry their own soul to the point where they maybe made some inappropriate choices or decisions. The second thing that it takes to be a Latino leader who remains solid at heart is change by bringing in structure and discipline from the outside. Change by bringing in structure and discipline from the outside. 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, I was traveling quite a bit, and I began to stress more, and so I medicate with food. It's one of the only vices Christians can have. You know, we know the ones we can't have, and so fortunately I wasn't choosing those, but my drug of choice was food. And I began to gain some weight, and I wasn't healthy, I wasn't working out, I wasn't taking care of the temple. And I couldn't change on my own, or I would have already done it. I couldn't get it back in control. So I called a friend of mine. And Alan is a physical therapist, and he works out at the gym like an hour and a half a day. Almost like too much. Like he works out too much. He's like too into it. But for me, I was doing okay and loving my family and doing okay spiritually, but I was doing terrible at working out and taking care of my body. I couldn't fix it in my own power. I said, Alan, I need you to force me to go to the gym. I was a donor at the gym. You know what I'm talking about? They get your checking account number or credit card number, and every month they take your money whether you go or not. You know what I'm talking about? And I was a donor at the gym. I couldn't find the front door. I could never get there. And so I had to get someone from the outside who was good at what I wasn't good at this point in my life. I began to meet Alan for working out 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and I got a new habit started. I began to drop the weight and get back into shape. I have 4 kids. I got to stay in shape so I can wrestle those kids and race and be strong for them. That was a way I had to bring change from the outside. How about you? How are you doing? You might have to bring change by getting someone who has a strength and bring them in from the outside. Next slide. Here's what I want you to see. Ministry flows out of being. Look at the chart in your outline. Ministry flows out of being, who you are at the core of your being. Ministry is not the things you can do. Ministry comes out of who you are on the depths of your soul. That's what matters most. You can get some of the other skills, but if your character fails, if your heart blows up, you're done. I'm done. And so look at the middle of the chart in the personal realm. Body, mind, soul, and spirit. What are you doing to nurture your inner core? For me, I was doing okay at my mind. I was reading, and I was staying mentally sharp. I was doing okay in the spirit and connecting with God, and I was doing okay in my soul through relationships that refueled me. But I was doing poorly in my physical part of my being. I had to bring it into alignment. Today, I'm doing great with the body, and I'm reading, but I've been busy, and now I need to put more time and energy into nurturing my spirit so that I'm connecting with God through my quiet time. It kind of shifts around different seasons. But I want to invite you to consider that ministry flows out of being in this inner part of your life and heart. The other things come out of those relationships and what you nurture at the core of your being. So here's what I want you to do. You notice on the chart that everything goes outward from there. Your marriage or your singleness and how you handle your sex drive if you're single. That's no joke. How you handle that part of your being. If your inner core is not taken care of, there's a greater likelihood that you're going to fall in that arena of your life. So if you're married or you're single, how are you medicating? How are you dealing with that? If there's not a love relationship with your spouse, there's going to be less intimacy. You're going to be more vulnerable. If you're single, God made you with the sex drive, but you haven't found that person that's your soulmate yet. How are you managing that drive? You might need to go to the gym just to work off some tension. You might need to have some accountability so that you're not out there alone and doing something stupid when you're not with the young people. Are you feeling me? This is real talk. This is real talk. Because if you blow up there, people, you're done. I'm done. I don't want you to read about me in the paper that I did something stupid because I wasn't caring for my heart, the deepest part of my life and my relationships, those core relationships. But that's where it starts. So, on your outline, I want you to evaluate yourself as we close. How are you doing with your physical fitness? Circle the number that best suits you. Circle the number. How are you doing? Don't beat yourself up. Circle a number. How are you doing in your mental fitness? What I mean by mental fitness, are you reading? Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you listening to instruction? Are you getting educated? Are you growing as a person? How about your spiritual fitness? How are you doing? How about your emotional or relational fitness? Do you have people that refuel you and that you're accountable to? Or are all your best friends the young people from your youth ministry? Circle a number. Don't be passive. Circle a number. Get an audit. Where are you?